This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you might have missed this morning. But we also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 7th of March 2019, and I am 2J.
I am 2M.
And I am DM, your host, sitting in for Miss K today. Let's get right to it and see the headlines. The Standard, end of the road beckons ROTICH. The Star, how Prophet lives large on Jane's estate. The Daily Nation, chaos and losses as strike grounds JKIA.
Yeah. Well,
What do you think?
Can I suggest we start with the Star?
So the Star.
I feel like this is becoming tabloid sensation.
Yeah.
They're really pulling this story, to get more.
We've established these guys as super sensationalists.
Yeah.
But I like it.
And are milking this headline.
Yeah, they're making it seem like the Prophet is being sponsored
By Jane.
by Jinn.
Is that really what they're saying?
That's how it looks.
So you
like.
think this is a publicity stunt for and on behalf of the Prophet?
No, it is the Star coining it in a way that will make it seem who is this larger than life person who has had all this wealth, but then it turns out it's
it's not his own wealth, it's from someone else.
Do you know this is how people end up being politicians and eventually president?
DM, please.
he already looks presidential. I said it. Guy moves like Uhuru. Outriders everywhere, policemen.
Yet he's a prophet.
All that razzmatazz.
But let me ask you guys, what does the Star want us to do with this story?
Okay, let me rein that question in
with
the criteria against which we're going to judge these headlines. Are they topical or speculative?
Yeah.
Are they repetitive or groundbreaking?
Yeah.
Are they thoughtful or lazy?
Yeah.
Where do we box this one?
It's repetitive.
Where do we box this sensational headline?
Let me tell you, I like it. And I told you guys yesterday, this is, if I wanted to make money, I'll put this newspaper, this headline on the corner street.
I know, fair enough that they want to make money, but as a citizen, what do I do with this story? What do I do with this information?
Do you know the issue I have with this headline as well is that there are other really big things happening in the country right now.
Yes.
And this is
especially after one of our economic hubs was in turmoil yesterday. You're talking to us about a prophet and a story that is very specific to one family.
I know, that's true.
They're probably doing the state a favor.
By directing attention.
By directing attention to flimsy things.
Okay, and it's true, Kenyans do love discussing these sensational.
It is true, but if you...
A man who spends 1 million shillings a month on his house, that his house help is paid 100K.
Yeah, but if you keep drilling sensationalism, then you devote yourself to tabloid status.
Yeah.
So, parking bay or rubbish bin?
Rubbish bin. This is useless.
Who wants to do the honors?
DM, did you not say, CB, do some forecasting? What is the headline going to be tomorrow on the Star?
I think these guys have a list of Prophet Owo related things, and they're going to meet it out slowly.
Yeah.
From least sensational to the most sensational. So tomorrow will still be on Prophet Owo, I think.
Yes, related to? Yeah, right.
Dustbin, shall we go to the Daily Nation?
Chaos and losses are strike grounds JKIA. Now, guys, I have something to say. The state had a week's notice of this strike.
Yes, they did.
If you know you're getting how many passengers? Is it?
They say 13,000 a day pass through JKIA.
Right? One airline is losing 300 million shillings in a day. Are you going to let that airport go bust?
Well, as a government, I would not. As a newspaper editor, I will definitely run this headline the next day because this is an important topic. The country needs explanation. This is an economic hub. It's about national security. Passengers were not screened as they came into the airport. It's about passenger security.
Yes.
Even airplane maintenance was at a halt. So definitely this is, in our criteria, it's very topical.
Yes. As for the 300 million that they supposedly lost, I think that's a small fish in a big ocean.
But for already bankers
struggling,
for an airline who makes tens of billions in losses, there's a lot of money. 300 million bob is a lot of money. But there's also one angle I also want to take: the military being deployed to replace KAA staff. Right?
Yes.
And Prof yesterday had his own reservations about deploying the military, from the barracks, and then you let them run an airport.
Yeah.
What could possibly happen?
There's a big misbalance in force to issue ratio. It was too much meted out.
Yes, definitely.
And this is the kind of thing that would lower the public's trust in government's ability to make decisions during crisis. So if we have like a medium crisis, it means that
they'll come
warships and submarines and tanks will
guns blazing.
It's becoming
will be meted out.
Considering the fact, as you said earlier, that they knew, they had a week's notice that this was going to happen. This was not a surprise that they had no expectation about.
This was a failure.
It's a failure
and an embarrassment.
It is most definitely.
And GSU people running after suitcases.
However, what do we think about the headline?
I don't know.
Relevant,
chaos and losses as strike grounds JKIA.
Thoughtful, I don't know, because wordplay, it is as dry as it comes.
Yes, it is dry.
Wordplay, but it is topical.
Yeah.
All right. Do we toss it then? Or do we put it in the parking bay?
I think, as we look at the standard. End of the road beckons
ROTICH.
Oh, yeah.
If I was CS ROTICH, I would resign. Right? You know why? Because him being questioned for over 22 hours.
Yeah, right? Combined, over the 2 days, yes.
Tells you his boss has washed his hands.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's also the right thing to do.
Yeah.
If you're under this much siege, then step aside. But then also what I would do at a personal level is I would step aside and I will take people down with me if I do have information.
So my question is, are we saying he should step down because it is undignified? Something that I agree with. This guy has been he's been dragged through the mud for reasons we are yet to even understand.
Can you imagine 22 or 23 hours in detainment?
However, is that reason enough for him to resign?
3 hours in detainment and then he's fired.
But is that reason enough for him to resign?
That may not be reason enough, but it's also the magnitude of the case, the kind of numbers we are talking about, the history of corruption, the way the president is undertaking this fight against corruption, the precedent he's taking, or the precedent that he's making in terms of dressing down people that he has appointed himself, people who act on his behalf.
Absolutely.
I think he's also setting himself up for failure because it could explode in his face.
Yes. Yeah. And Daisy, we have consistently said that the moment you keep repeating headlines and giving people stuff already provided for by DCI on headlines, this thing will boomerang on the head of state.
It will.
And I'm sorry to say that. I think, bottom line, this guy is going home.
You think so?
I think it's a bit premature, I really do, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I will say though, I think that this headline is far better than this one. It upsets me because I'm tired of this damn story, but it is a better headline.
Tired of this damn story.
The wordplay is not lost on me.
Is it thoughtful?
No, but it's speculative to tell you where the head of state is going with this.
True, it is speculative,
Yeah. True. So it's probably pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
So which one takes the day?
For me, none. They've already told you what's happening.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
what are you gonna decide?
End of the road.
We've entered a cycle
and losses. Just from a logical point of view, I would go with the Daily Nation. Because that is what I would do as an editor. That is what will follow, given what happened at the airport yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Given the magnitude of the situation.
I like it because it was also unnecessary for this to happen. This could have been done very fast. Could have been yes.
All right, and then.
So this one stays.
Have we declared it the winning headline?
I think so. Does it mean win by virtue of being a runner?
No, this has lost.
There you have it. No winning headline today. So let's quickly move on to the cartoons.
Yeah.
All right. We'll start with the star.
Yes.
All right.
What do we have here?
Is this what you're talking about yesterday?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And even now.
Even just right now.
It's a picture of a caricature of soldiers at the airport, but they're not replacing KAA. They're pulling trolleys from duty-free shops, and the trolleys is wine And then, but there's a guy who's signaling a plane which is already in the air.
The plane's actually going away from the airport.
And there's multiple planes in the sky in our view.
Yeah, meaning he doesn't know. And when
no line of vision.
You see, as he's doing this, he's holding
wine in his hand. And what is the other guy saying? He's saying military intervenes and ensures smooth running of the airport and duty-free shops.
I like this cartoon.
I like it as well.
I like it because it manages to be satirical and upsetting at the same time.
Yes.
And the satire is in the wording, the smooth running, and duty-free shops. And also in the imagery. I mean, we're seeing a soldier, he's waving some traffic paddles.
He thinks he's doing a great job.
Yeah, it's probably a task that he's not skilled for. And at the same time, he's holding a bottle of alcohol in his hand because let's not forget why I'm here. But then it's also upsetting because historically it's reminiscent of
Westgate. Yeah, that's very true.
You know, which looting was reported after KDF responded. But then again, it's layered. What do we expect? How much does a soldier earn? And then these people are thrown out into like
civilian
fields situations, of luxury, like an upscale mall and an airport. What are they going to do?
It's becoming an increasing trend to have military resolve civilian situations. What does the military know about industrial action?
Nothing, we would assume.
So why have them replace civilians?
I don't know, but I think, as we've said already, I think this is going to backfire at some point.
It's going to backfire. And also how they act when they're actually at the airport. They were terrorizing the people that they're supposed to be protecting.
To be helping, yeah. Terrific.
So we keep it.
Parking bay, I'd say, until we see the other ones. Okay. But so far, looking good.
And let me remind you of the criteria, in our audience of the criteria. Is it humorous or is it dry?
Right.
Is it satirical or is it pessimistic?
Yes.
Is it effective or is it plain lazy?
Right. Where is this one?
There we go.
There's another one over the airport. Yeah.
This one I enjoyed.
It's
So we have an airplane that has been patched together, and it says JKIA on it, and in front of it is the toe. It is broken down, not functioning, and it says, it is written on it KQ.
This one I disagree with you.
Really?
Yes, to Jay, because I think it's visual misinformation. Why is JKIA the airport represented by an aircraft, and then the KQ is what are these cars called?
You see,
it doesn't make sense given the situation that's happening.
It's not about the situation. I think it's about the impending or the suggested merger that is supposed to happen.
Precisely.
So when you're at the airport, this small tow truck is the one that is supposed to guide the airplane before it takes off.
But the reality is that it's the airport that does not want to be yoked to an airline that is
already making losses.
Exactly. Financial distress.
Yes, absolutely. You know.
So,
and how
is it humorous? Did you laugh?
Yes.
Is it satirical or is it pessimistic?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Is it effective or is it lazy?
I think it's effective.
You see the KQ?
I thought it was dry. I thought it was pessimistic. I thought it was lazy.
I think that this is such an apt representation of what's happening.
Be the tiebreaker to them.
I agree with June. We keep it.
Okay. I have lost that one. Okay.
Okay, now we're down to our final.
To the final cartoon. One, which is the standard.
There you go.
Hey.
What do we have to him?
This is caricature of Sudan President Omar al-Bashir. And his bum is on fire. It is smoking. And at the same time, he's holding his
I thought he was
stick.
stinking, but then I saw the matches.
No, his bum is on fire and he's holding a revolver on Sudan. A progressive young...
progressive young.
Sudan, right? And I think she's on phone.
She's tweeting about him,
right? And he's shouting, "Hold it right there!" Hold on, because he's realized his what is on fire.
His bum is on fire.
It's simply saying, in my view, that it's about time, and he doesn't realize it. He's holding he's holding the stick on Sudan, and he doesn't realize.
He's caught in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, his regime is about to fall.
I mean, this progressive Sudanese woman is what is exposing the conditions that are happening in this country right now.
But I told you, Gado is very clever.
Yes.
Below down here, what are you saying?
Matchbox.
It's a matchbox. What's it written? It's branded.
Oh,
what?
does it say something?
Oh, it says something, huh? It says social media. So it's
Social
social media
Social
that's
media.
setting him on fire.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
And Gado's mouse is too shocked for words today. There's just exclamation points on his head.
Yes.
Yeah. But not just what's happening here, but around Africa.
Around Africa as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
I like this one.
You saw what?
I like it too. I saw an op-ed by my second favorite columnist.
Yeah.
My favorite is Des Maritime Minor.
Yeah.
So he called the return of the Arab Spring,
Yeah.
and he's reminding us that
Yeah.
the same thing is probably about to happen in Algeria.
Yes.
Yes.
You remember Bouteflika?
Yes.
Bouteflika. The Bouteflika. He just announced that he's going to run for the 5th time. But the thing is, the guy has a stroke. He didn't announce it himself.
What do you call him again?
The Bouteflika.
This-
But a missile
this-
came my way.
You're not getting a visa to go to this. Yeah.
Okay, so what do we think of that one? I like it.
I like it as well.
think
This is a
that
tough
it's
day.
It's
It's a tough
humorous. It's also very satirical,
Yeah.
and it's intellectual in its
Yeah.
satire.
Yeah.
But it's also very effective.
All right, so can we have a tie? I'm very impressed with the cartoons today.
I am too.
I think Gado has this one. I know you guys with your Africanism and everything.
Does
that not mean that
but
we
I
would
don't
like
think
it?
he has it. I
This is
think
closer to home.
this is closer to home.
Either way, I like
The
Gado.
stuff.
Gado is brilliant.
Can you make up your mind?
I've already made it up.
No, it has to be Victor.
All right. Dictators from
it
behind the
is.
camera have spoken.
Professor is a dictator.
Victor, it is. So we have our winning cartoon. We do not have a winning headline today.
Winning cartoon today is from The Star.
Wonderful. So that has been the winning headlines. Thank you for joining us. See you tomorrow.